Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And my good friend Kimberly Crowe is here with us, back with us to talk about awakening your money magic. And so today we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about always so much, having a clear connection with your divine blueprint during these trying times. And also we're going to talk about when you align your blueprint, your sovereign being flows and a whole new way of being evolves. And the connection allows you to give meaning and context to the things that happen in your life. And you'll find the truth of your magic and anchor the true currency codes into humanity. So we're going to talk about all of that and more. Kimberly's going to be doing some mini healing sessions on the call with live callers like we always do, as well as a group healing activation with the greater aspect to access your currency codes and activate your heart alchemy. So for those of you who don't know Kimberly, she's been on our show many, many times. We love having her here. She's also my co-host in the Expanded View. So we always have so much fun together. She's an everyday mystic and is known as the healer's healer. She is the sacred witness to the inner awakened mastery I am retonements. She's an internationally known visionary teacher, artist, and transformational healer with 30 years experience, and she can help you achieve your heart's desires by tuning into, clearing, and harmonizing your unique energy system. As guided by Divine Creator, Kimberly can tap directly into your soul to help you achieve your purpose and passions in life. And of course, so much more. So Kimberly, welcome back to the show. So glad you're here with us. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Feels like I just saw you a day or so ago.
Yes, you did on Monday. Yeah, exactly.
Time just swishes around.
It sure does. It sure does. So I'm so glad you're here with us today on the show to talk about awakening your money magic and what all that entails. So can you just share a little bit what that means? What does it mean to awaken your money magic?
Okay. This is what I was shown, when I go out on these journeys. Mm-hmm. So in my, if you want to call it meditation state, whatever, spirit, usually it's like I get this knock on the head and spirit tells me to go sit down. So right. They got something to tell me. And so in one of my processes, we all know the systems are corrupt. I mean, we know that. We know that they've been used for all kinds of corrupt things, and it's got all entangled and enmeshed in all kinds of ways. So what they were showing me was that sometimes that knowing of that, because we have this innate knowing, it actually blocks us in receiving because we don't want to be a part of the corruption. Okay. Mm-hmm. So there's some energy, and we work on programs and belief systems all around that. And what they showed me was this crystalline structure. And then I saw that weaving, it was like around it, but it kind of looked like waves of energy in it too, like a broadcast, that was going in it, but it was wrapped around it. And that was that distorted matrix of the energies that where it's been used for corruption, greed, manipulation, slavery, bondage, because humanity has kept itself in slavery and bondage since the beginning of get-go, mm-hmm. With this type of energy, however, it all went into those money systems that we have. So they showed me that. And then it was how that is unraveling, that part of this situation in this time period that we're in, that humanity has dreamed in, that we said we'd all be here at this time as all of these things are, collapsing. So we're in it. We're in the middle of all of that happening. So they showed that to me, and how when you move past that into when that's gone, like as that dissolves, so we dissolve it within ourselves. So as that dissolves, there's this crystalline structure of the truth of what currency, your alchemy, and how to use it. That when you dissolve all of that, then you can use money as a tool. Mm-hmm. It's a magical tool, and you can use it in the magic. And so in that process of me witnessing that, then this went on for 3 days of me watching the different stuff. I mean, I saw all of the different timelines that humanity's streaming in. I witnessed all of the pain and chaos and suffering that humanity's had over so-called money. You know, it's like, I didn't think all of that was ever going to be over. And then all of a sudden I busted through it. And for some reason I had to witness that part of it. And then they like pushed me through into the crystalline structure, which is, you know, that's really us, as all of us here as light workers. We said we would show up and be a part of that and to anchor that in. And they said that when we open ourselves up to be this container, then you know, I want to use the word new, and I hate using the word new, but it's this unpreceded energy that's going to anchor in. And I thought, well, maybe has it been here before? Because I went to a place that was like paradise, you know, when you just kind of dream it in, and whatever you think of an orange and you have an orange, you know, it's like, oh, if it's a whatever, it's a peach, it's like you can have peaches, pineapples, oranges, and mangoes all at the same place, wherever it is. And how that when we focus on that and not the what's wrong, then it will just come to us. Okay. So we know this, we've all been doing it in however way that we do this, that this is where we're moving to and what we're going to, and how to that we're here for these systems to change and this to happen. And then, so I came in the house and I was really busy and swamped, and I had a lot of commitments that I felt like I needed to be doing. And so instead I sat and painted. And I sat and I was painting, and I just wanted to paint, and that's all I wanted to do. And any time that energy of my shoulda couldas that tried to come in, I just pushed it away and kept painting. I was like, just paint. I was hearing spirit say, just paint. And so while I was sitting and painting, because I had a thought about who, you know, like, who do I broadcast this to? Because when I was watching all the painting and everything, and I was sitting there crying, and I said, what do I do with this? And they said, go push the live button. Go talk about it. That's what you can do. Just push the button. You know how to do that. So I came straight in and hit my live button, and I went on Facebook and I started talking about it. So I talked about it for a week. It's like every day I would talk about it and paint in between. And while I was painting, like, a podcast, somebody reached out for a podcast, like 3 different summits, somebody for me to speak to their membership. So what I'm saying is that when you're in that divine flow and you're doing what you love and you're in that magic, then it's a tool for you. It's like things just start coming to you. It just aligns up and it just happens. And so even just right before I came on to this, I worked with a client that the person that asked me to speak in their membership put it out in his newsletter. She connected. She knew she was supposed to work with me, and I just finished that. So that's how it starts being magic. It resonates, that magnetic field, your core, and it sends out this vibration. And in some way, someone hears it and knows that they're supposed to step in to whatever the container is with you, you know, in the creation that you're creating then together, you know. And then it's like, that's how we create. And then it's like the connections come, we create together, and then there's a new creation, and then we keep transcending humanity that way. And so when we open up to be the anchors of that and to say yes, you know, the whole time I was like, I had my own launch going on, and there was a lot going on with it. And I was like, I can't be painting. And I had so much going on, but I just kept saying yes. I just kept saying yes. And then it like busted through all of that. It busted through all of that stuff that was in my mind about everything that I needed to do.
So I want to ask everybody right now if they are willing to say yes. Right? Who all is willing to say yes? And will you say yes now? So for those of you who are here, just type in the chat, yes. Right? And so
you're saying yes to yourself.
Yeah.
How many times have we not said yes to ourselves? You know, that we abandon ourselves because of some belief of some kind of game archetype we had to keep playing with for everybody else, you know. And so that it's that energy of that, and when that happens, then that's what the magic is. That's how it's magic. And it just happens. You're just like in this manifestation flow, and it just keeps happening.
Exactly. So, and that starts by you saying yes to you, by you saying yes to infinite possibilities, infinite opportunities, just anything that's going to show up, right? Say yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
Can you
oh, wow.
see her? It's like, and then there's like in that gold, there's like a woman in there. You can see her face in there. I'm going to tell you on this painting.
Oh, I love it.
I was doing it, and I dropped the painting on the floor. Okay. I dropped the painting on the floor. And when I pulled it up, then it had all this light in it. And then it did all of this. And then it was like, and then I saw the woman in it. And then the other day I was sitting here and I was like, oh, there's supposed to be a lotus in that. And it's got so much light coming in.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
At the time when I dropped that in the floor, picked the dirt up off of it, and I thought, oh, you know, at first I was like, oh no, and then I was like, oh, cool! Look how cool this is.
Exactly. So sometimes an oopsie, you know, it's like, oops, it fell, can actually be quite magical, right?
I know, exactly. You don't know what's going to happen with it. You know what it is that I had, whatever I had in my head. And then when you step back from it, I can see another face right here in this that I just, because the faces will keep showing up. And look how that light's coming in. So when I paint, that's what happens. It's just pretty amazing, actually, that I get to sit and watch it happen. And I don't even know what's going to happen.
I love all of the colors in it. Oh my goodness, so beautiful.
Paintings. It's one of my favorite ones that I have. And it's like, and that was a whoopsie that fell in the and you can imagine it was like, and it went, you know, and I had to get it all up off the hardwood floors.
and Christy says the image on the floor may have also been cool.
I know, you know, I think I do in this moment. I think when that happened, I think I did take another canvas and lay it on it because there was so much paint there that it was going to be to clean up. And I think I did lay something on it and pick it up to see what I got from it.
Awesome.
I did.
Good.
I have to find its partner that I did that with.
Yes, exactly. So one of the things I forgot to mention at the beginning of the call is that if you have a question for Kimberly about your money codes or the magic of money, the miracle of money, etc., anything like that, you can raise your hand or you can type a question in the chat. I have no idea what types of questions people are going to ask other than, you know, like what's blocking me from receiving, which is like, you know, there's a lot that could be blocking you from receiving, right?
Yeah, and we could go through all of those old beliefs and all of that forever, and it's like throwing grains of sand into the ocean. It's like, it's just time to say yes, move out of all of that, and, you know, bring in our gifts of what it is that we're here, because, you know, we're in this time, it's speeded up, and it's just, we can't keep throwing sand into the ocean. You know, it just comes back. It's like it just comes back to the beach and never goes away.
Yeah.
It's just there again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So we do have some people with their hands raised and people with questions. So I think some people may not understand what you mean by money codes.
So
let's talk about that first. What are money codes? And, you know, is it just a matter of you giving them money codes? I don't think so, but, you know.
No, they have it. It's there already. So the way I see everything, I see the distortions in the matrices, and I see like the divine matrix. And so when I'm witnessing, it comes in like binary codes. And so those codes, like they drop in like sparkles. It may be letters, it may be numbers, but, you know, or colors. It could be colors. And so I see that coming in, you know, like I see it flickering in. And so what Spirit has told me that I came in carrying, this being, the being that came into this DNA skin suit, came in seventh dimensional, came in already carrying seventh dimensional frequencies. So codes are frequencies. So I came in already carrying that. And it took me, a long time to realize I'm a code keeper, that it's like, that's what, I don't know how many code keepers out there. We're probably all code keepers of something, and that I don't even know if it's a keeper. I don't know if that's the right word. That sounds like a hoarder, doesn't it? I'm too busy giving them away. I'm a code giver awayer. So that's what I call it. That's the word that Spirit has used with me, that's what it is. It's like encodements. So it's just like our DNA is encoded. It's encoded that when it worked with my RNA, my mitochondria, and it all came together, it created blue eyes. It created red hair. Somewhere I pulled that out of something, then it all came together to make this creation. So those codes are the same thing. It's like your recipe. It's like the recipe, the ingredients that's there. And so they can get like the receptor sites, just like the receptor sites on in your body. It's like it can get blocked by beliefs and stuff. So maybe the codes got distorted, entangled, and then it's like a virus being in the system. So then it starts playing something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what codes are to me. That's how I see codes. And so so we have the codes are there, the codes to this new that we're all dreaming in and creating. We're all being the containers of that. It's out there. So opening up to be the anchor of it, because it's like it's coming in, it's like coming in like that. So I'm seeing it like sparkles, like little sparkles coming in. Different people may see it different ways. So mine comes out sometimes in light language. I speak it in that way. It comes out in colors in my paintings. Like my paintings are all downloaded with codes, and when they're in environments, they activate stuff. So, somebody's maybe in books writing, it could be a song. It could be anything that you're doing. So it's all of the, I'm seeing like the Fibonacci sequence right now as I'm talking about it. So it's all some kind of encodements then, that recipes that create the next thing. And when you put those ingredients together, then, you have something else.
Right.
Like if you put the milk and the sugar and the eggs and flour together, then you have a cake. If before that, it was just each one of those ingredients.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think it'll make more sense when people start asking questions and you're responding to them and answering their questions, or doing the mini healing as well. So even in, with all of the questions that people are going to ask and all the mini healing that Kimberly's going to do, please be open to receiving that. Okay. That's also part of your currency code is receiving. So stay out of your head and just be willing to receive the clearing and the healing. Right. So if it's not your specific question, it might be something similar that you do still resonate with, or you may be carrying, right? That can be cleared.
Right. The receiving may be, the scenario may be different, but how, what's blocked within the system could have some of the same, energies in it. Yeah. Like what, it could blow it out. Exactly. If you're just open to receive whatever it is. And that whole getting in our head and thinking, well, nobody picked me. It's not why didn't I get picked? And even that block stuff, because it's like we're too busy in our head doing, all of that instead of just opening to allow. It's like an opening to allow.
But the thing is, it's like, okay, so there's these currency codes that you said we all have, money codes, currency codes, we'll lump them all together in the same thing. Yeah. Right? We all have them. Is it that for some of us, they may not be activated or ignited or open, awakened, or what?
I think they've got distorted, just like when your computer gets a virus, and then it's like, or if you have a program that gets a virus, and then it'll tell you that this program has been, what does it say? compromised, contaminated, whatever it is that it
Okay,
says.
so you all
So
have the codes, because everyone's asking, can you please give me my money code? Can you please give me my code? And it's like, you all have the code. That's not the issue. The issue is that there's some distortion in your field, that you're not able to access it fully 100%, or it's not functioning 100% capacity, right?
Right. And so, the what they showed me coming in, it's like that. It's just like anything. There's always something out there to receive, like, invention, songs, any of that stuff is dropped in somewhere. It's in the accumulated knowledge, and it's dropped into humanity's consciousness. So this is the same. It's like the energy is there to be the anchor of that. So your code is actually somewhere in you, but you can't connect to it or remember where it is, or you're still trying to run the old program instead of surrendering and stepping into the unlimited possibilities. Like you're still stuck in the paradigm of poor pitiful me is what I'm hearing. It's like that kind of energy, and any of that kind of energy, like, I don't know, jealousy, that type of energy is it's going to repel it. It's going to repel it from coming in. And then,
Well, I was going to say, Kimberly, really quickly, if people are feeling the victim energy, feeling like poor me, things aren't working out, you are feeling that because things have not been changing for you, perhaps, right? So things have probably been the same for a while, and that's why, you're feeling that way. But is that something that we can change for everybody on the call? At least, oh no, that's so vague, it's like, what am I asking for? I'm asking for everyone's abundance codes to be like, opened up and cleared. It's like, okay, that's a lot.
But you bring it in and put it in the containers, and then they still have to step forth and do something with it. You have to, it's like there's still this listening to the divine. I mean, we talked about this before. It's like what do you do when you first get up of a morning? It's like, I connect to my sacred self. I connect to that being, that energy of me, my future self, my, master self that knows how to get there. That's already done this, to see what, how can I be in service? How can I be in service today? And then that's why those things come in, because I sit down to do it. I mean, every once in a while, it may be, like I said, I get knocked in the head and they say, will you sit down? Just when they were telling me to change my clothes today, take off that color, you need red on. And I put red on, and I was like, this doesn't match. And it was like, just wear it for a while. And I did, and I felt my energy shift.
Of course.
Whatever I was carrying, I could feel it in my spine, and it was like it shifted. And then because I went to the chiropractor this morning, and then I had to come home and change clothes.
Yeah, of course.
And then I changed again for this call. So, and it really, I mean, it can be simple things like that shift your energy. If you're willing to step forth and to let go of, I'm hearing the resentments and the regrets, because holding on to those resentments and regrets block us more than anything does.
Yeah.
And that goes all back to the forgiveness. And it's not forgiveness to others, it's forgiveness to self.
Yeah.
It's when
the other day too, about forgiveness. It's all about forgiving ourselves, loving ourselves, accepting ourselves, honoring, whatever choices we have made in the past,
Right. And when they ask me, I mean, because now they literally say, okay, will you take this assignment? And I have to say yes. And if I don't say yes, it's just gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
It won't be lost. It'll move somewhere else. And how many times do you get those, like maybe a big ideal dropped in and you didn't act on it, and 2 weeks later you see it somewhere, it's like, or it's a year later and it's like they're making it. It's like they're selling this at Walmart. I had this big idea of this while I was mopping the floor. I mean, and so it's not that certain people are special or favorites. It's their in alignment. They're in the alignment to receive, to listen, to step into flow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How else can I say that? It's like
Yeah.
you're willing to do it.
Yeah, and you're stepping. You're
Take
getting
the
out
risk.
of you're getting out of your head. You're getting rid of the no but, no but, no but. Right, and going and taking a chance, taking a risk sometimes. But that's great for people who are wanting to serve or create or work. But some people they don't have that. That energy anymore to do work. Like maybe they have a pension, maybe they're retired, right? But they still don't have enough money coming in, or sometimes no money coming in, right? So their currency codes or their currency wealth flow is like minimal. What do they do?
Right, and it may not come. It can come in different ways when you step into that flow of how it comes in. I mean, like even with me, like that same week that all of that happened, it's paying attention to the magic and what is actually magic. So Saturday, I decided, I've been feeding caterpillars.
Mm-hmm.
It's like first I saved the dead plants at Lowe's, and then I notice I have caterpillars, so I start feeding the caterpillars.
Mm-hmm.
I find
Mm-hmm.
out everything that the caterpillars need to survive. So I was going to the farmer's market to get more parsley for the caterpillars.
Mm.
That was my mission. So I went in and bought the parsley for the caterpillars, and so that they can have fresh herbs growing.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was leaving from the farmer's market, I heard to go into this grocery store. And it's not one that I normally go to. And there was a recipe in my head that I wanted a certain cheese. And they used to sell this cheese, but they've been bought out in corporate and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, well, maybe they still have that cheese. And I go in there, and instead something else that I use every day, I think I did get some cheese. It wasn't the one I was looking for, but something that I use every day was on a special, whatever, it was half price.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was only 3 of them left, and I bought all 3 of them. That saved me $15.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how money is magic. It can be
Mm-hmm.
that kind of things. You may think, well, I'm not this and I'm not doing this kind of work and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter what it is that you're doing, the creation that you're doing in life. It can be that kind of flow.
Right.
And I knew it. I knew it in the moment that it's like, because I went to get the caterpillars the food, then I got the next thing to go do. And then it's like, wow, I got $15 in my hand that I wouldn't have had in the long run.
Yeah.
So it can be like that, everyday things in your life. So it's acknowledging it. It's acknowledging it in the moment that it happens and realizing. I was like, hot damn, that's magic money. It's like, I just got some more magic in my hand. It just happened.
Great example.
And then,
thank you for clarifying.
then something else comes along. So it can be that you just get this knowing, like, I'm going to go in here. I don't even know what this store has. And then that's how it works in your life. Mm-hmm. And it could even be something that you see that's for somebody else. And that this person, oh, this is something that they use. And this is, would be perfect for them.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
that I had a friend that I've been looking for a fern and they were all gone. And she stopped at Lowe's and brought me home the biggest fern I've ever seen in my whole entire life that she got on the clearance rack for $5. Mm. But I was the one that wanted a fern. She didn't need a fern, but she, so it came to me. It magically showed up in my yard. I go outside and the biggest fern I've ever seen in my life is sitting in my front yard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did that come from? How did I manifest that?
That's magic.
It took my friend to go in there, stop, and she brought it to me. Mm-hmm. So it can be everyday things like that in your life. And what did that do? It made me so happy. I was so happy that the fern was out there. It's in Kuan Yin's garden, in the peace garden, mm-hmm. with all the other stuff. So it's that kind of happy and joyness and living your life.
And that creates more.
Yes.
Yeah,
that
that creates more.
childlike sparkle, you know, instead of going, okay, well, this didn't come this way and I didn't get $1 million and I didn't win lotto. So that crap that she just talked about didn't work. What's that going to do?
Yeah.
So it's
Exactly.
acknowledging it and recognizing it in all of the magical ways that it can show up in your life. And when that happens, it, you know, it just keeps happening.
Mm-hmm. So all of the magical ways that it can show up, not one,
Right.
not, you know, all of the magical ways that
So
it can
that's
show
how
up.
it can be like a tool and something that you can use, and it's an expansion thing, and it's, you know, it may not be coins in your hand, but it is, because it's all made up anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all made up, so you might as well be in the part of that.
Yep, absolutely.
And how you can, you know, when you start recognizing it, then you start, you know, then you want to do something for somebody. It, like, something happens in your heart, and then, like, you want to do something. And so, you know, it's like I wanted to go live and share it with people and talk about this, and it came in, and we had the Lionsgate energy, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to throw this out there and do this call. And, you know, so many people signed up, and then it went on for 8 days that we kept working with the energy of it. So that was me. When they said, go share it, and other people wanted to know, then the creation just started happening. You know, it's like a snowball, you know, that takes off, and it's, before you know it, you have a whole snowman.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. All right. So we have lots of people with their hands raised and questions in the chat.
And when we do, before we get started here, when I do the activation and we go through that, we'll do everybody's codes then. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and do everybody's individual codes today. It's like, we'll do it in the group container for everybody. And when we come together in a group and we're all excited about this, and we want this for our, you know, next door Brady Bunch person here just as much as we do ours. We want everybody to have it. It's like you want everybody to have it.
Yeah.
So I'll do that then. Okay.
Awesome. Perfect.
So that helps with that.
So yeah, so don't ask for your code, because we're going to do all that at the end in the group process. So for your questions, ask something else. Okay.
Right.
All right. So RB Standing Bear, do you want to unmute yourself? Can you unmute? Yep. Perfect.
I can. Hi.
Hi. So what's
me
your
abundantly-
question?
Other
than what is my code?
Bagel.
No worries. No worries. It's okay. I know. I always get that happens to me a lot. And it's like, just a second. That's why I'm continuing to talk so that you can finish chewing.
Thank you. You're so kind.
It happens. It happens. So again, like I said, don't ask about your code, but you can ask anything else, okay? Or something else, right? Because the code part we're going to do at the end in the group process, okay?
Right.
Or if it's something applying to it, but but not to activate it individually for everybody.
Right. Well, something I've noticed is that those of us who've been through a lot of severe trauma in childhood, in my case, it was sexual abuse and satanic ritual abuse, there is a pattern set up somehow of just blocking receiving. And I've been working on this for several decades now. And I've been making a lot of progress, and yet I know that there's something I'm missing.
We'll look at the receiving word, because that's a hard word. You know, I mean, what does receiving mean to you? Not good stuff. And when they showed the distortions to me that day, and I witnessed all the things that I did in humanity, that was part of it that I witnessed. I mean, I watched horrendous things that I don't want anybody to see. But it's like that went on for me, being the witness of all of it, and, you know, the crying for all of it. And I literally saw children being freed from cages and stuff. You know, it was like I was watching when we actually move into all of this. So that was some of those distortions that I saw in it. Okay. So we will do some of that later. Let me look in for you what it personally, there's something in your left eye. So the left eye, they show a mechanism in there to me, that how we have an inner reflection thing. And so there's a distortion in the inner reflection because of whatever the experiences were. Okay, but that part's not really what, there's an aspect of you that left, like it travels, and you've done soul retrievals is what they're telling me, but there is it holds your magic, because that one knows how to go like to, to the magical land, like where everything's all magic and everything is all beauty. And that there is a place that, like where I was talking about that they took me, she knows how to get there. So what I'm hearing for you is that when you integrate her, then that that piece that's in there is going to blow out, because there's going to be so much light that it won't have a way to stay in you anymore. Okay, I don't know if we can integrate that today or not, because that can be a lot to do. But connect to her. How old is she? The one that has the magic, because you've kept her hid so that she would be protected. Do you feel safe enough to let her come back in now?
Yes.
Okay, how old is she?
3.
Okay, yeah, that's what I heard too. Okay, so invite her to connect to you, because she's there. She's not afraid of you, or she wants to connect to you. Yeah, allow her to open that door. You're the one that's kept the door shut to save her. So open the door to where she is. Can you feel her light?
Yes.
Okay. So can you welcome her back home?
Yes.
Okay, let's hold this space. So all of you all with your 3-year-olds that may have went through trauma in whatever form it was, it may not be the same. Well, open that door to their magic and allow this magic to come in, and that it's safe. I'm going to download Creator's definition of receiving. This is for everybody. The truth of that word and what it really is. Okay, so there's some stuff to unplug from your umbilical cord. Oh. So I would play with her, connect to her, and see what secrets that she has to show you and to give you, and what magic that she has, and to that she can express it and allow that to come in. So that's what I would do, if you want to call it meditation or whatever, connections to her. See what her, she may have a different name, and it may be the same name. It could just be, but connect to her and what her magical gift is. She may show it to you right now. You can ask for that to be shown.
Wonder if she's my voice.
Ask her. Yeah, she wants to. Yeah. So
It's like
play with that. Yeah.
My voice got shut down at that age.
Yeah. So play with that and let her express herself however that is that she wants to, I mean, there may be sounds that come out that sound, animalistic or whatever, but you may break through some stuff that's still screaming and things like that, but until it's her voice, because all of that's not her voice, because she went to Magic Land, and it's like she has a different. Do you play a flute?
No.
Because I'm hearing a tone like a flute. So you may be, you may be playing a flute by the next time we talk to you. It wants to come out in some way like that. So the flute could just be you itself, because I'm seeing like a flute being handed to you.
Oh.
Maybe start listening to flute music and see what that brings.
If that brings energy in for you with it. Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, blowing on a flute, you have to have your breath, you know, it has to be freely flowing. That's what comes to me.
Right.
And I have like chronic lung issues. And as I've been starting to share my story and write my book, I find like my throat just closes up.
Yeah. So do stuff like that, sounding that would allow that to come out, open that up.
Toning.
And don't claim that other either that you just did. It's like we just did all of that and you said, I have. And it's like they diagnosed you with. Okay, don't claim that I have lung stuff. You can, if you separate it from you, they diagnosed me with. It's their diagnosis. Okay, so
Yes.
It's like start separating that from you, because instead of saying I have, because when you said that, you went, you brought that right into you here. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Good.
Right. You can watch their diagnosis disappear.
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to wait for you to come back and play the flute for us.
There you go.
We'll all buy your CD.
It'll be really, I'm sure it'll be really healing. I love flute music. You know, it just.
I do too. I love it.
It opens up so much in me. I just love it. Okay, Bianca, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello.
There she is.
Well,
Hello.
hi. I'm sort of in the similar lines anyways, because I'd say I had my magic at one point. I could flow into the energy at one point in my life. I knew the rhythm of life. I created myself a whole bunch of jobs that out of kind of thin air, out of visualization. And for the last 9 years or so, I've been creating a lot of crap in my life. And you know, it keeps going, and I'm like, okay, how do I get out of this now? Because I've been working a lot with Alara, and she knows my story a bit. And it's got to do with my work. It's got to do.
I'm getting. We need to go to the crap creator and find out what that mechanism's all about.
It's like I'm sabotaging myself. It's like,
yeah,
no,
but it's like
higher.
It's almost like that they think that's their job. Is what as soon as you said it, I thought, oh, we need to go to the crap creator and see what the other job they would prefer to have. You know, they're doing. I mean, they're excellent.
They don't like
the
job. Yeah.
Right? They're excellent at creating it. So it's like, let's see what else they want to do. Okay. So what happened at 29?
At 29, I went to Japan.
What did shift it?
Now I'm 49. So 9 years ago at 40, when my friend died.
But there's something, because they gave me the number 29.
29?
Was that a magical time?
No, it was it was the end. It was kind of a hard year because I went to Japan and I thought it would be easy for me to integrate in other culture and things like that, and it was a really hard year.
Okay, let's see let me look and see what's there at 29, because there's something there that was kind of set up, and it might have to do with the loss or expectations. And then, okay, let's see. It's like that. I feel that here in your frontal lobe. Yeah. So you connect to that energy of what at 29 wants to be seen today.
That's when I lost the feeling I could do anything in the world.
Okay, there you go.
Because when I tried it in Japan, it wasn't working anymore. I didn't know the culture, and I was doing I pre-programmed myself to say I was breaking all the culture rules.
Yeah. Okay.
So I couldn't make it work in Japan that well. I mean, I love that, but
Okay. Let's focus on what, okay. So what was the, okay. So that's when that was set in. So let's see, where is the, what was, she had resilience. I mean, have that kind of bravery to go to somewhere like that, a whole different culture in the way she did. So if you can connect to this excitement and the bravery that she had to do that adventure,
yeah,
find
because
that
I
one.
wanted to understand how Asian people thought and lived, so I could be a better designer for
Okay,
you
so
know.
what did she witness? The one that wanted that, she went there for that. So ask to see the gift that she witnessed, the one that was what they went for, the experience.
Experiences. I got totally shut down as a woman and couldn't find any work in my line of business. So
What, but there's magic that she had with it. That's what all of the, you're going straight to what all the systems did. And it's like,
okay.
that's what we're busting through. We don't want to stay in the systems that did this and did that, and the system did this to me. It's like, what
No,
was
she
the,
witnessed the connection with the spirit realm,
okay.
the magical of. There's a magic in Japan with the temples and like the Buddhists and connecting to the Buddhists, going to Buddhist temple, the magic of the beauty.
What if that's
And
what you were there for? What if that was what the whole thing was for? And it was like, that was the experience, that's what you really went to, feel that connection to spirit. So start focusing on that and that connection to that, and open that energy up to that connection, the flow back to that, because all of the rest of that is that, I'm going to use the word masculine mind. I'm not blaming this on men. But it's that
the
container.
ambitious mind, the
Yes,
one
the
that wanted to
container.
push through.
Right. So connect to that, to the part that you really went for was the experience of the magic.
Yes. The
Right.
connection with spirits and the animation world and things like
Right.
that.
Feel that energy of that. That's your magic.
Okay.
Okay. So connect to that. Like, do an infinity symbol between the one that experienced all that magic.
Okay.
So is it safe for you to open your heart and to bring this magic into your now?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm getting a yes.
Yeah. So bring that in. Yes. She said yes. Yay.
Yes.
I'll put you in my Kuan Yin garden. I'll write your name down, and I've been putting people in there on rocks. It's like your name gets written in a rock in the Kuan Yin garden.
Oh, thank you. I love Kanyan.
Yeah, she wants to, that's who, the connection to her and the energy of that. It's like, keep connecting to it, and what, it's like she's standing with you, and like to be there with that. And when you step into that, and then even, her, I mean, she's the goddess of compassion, and the energy that she brought in.
Oh, that's lovely. I really love that energy right now. It's really fun.
I'm going to leave you in that.
Thank you.
We're just going to leave you in that. It's like, you got there, so let's just leave you there. Okay.
Thank you. That
Awesome.
feels really much better.
Keep playing with it, Bianca. Good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Do that. Like, move that in there. Once a swirl. And that's what, and I do see those codes coming in like spirals, that there's like a spiral that's coming in, and then I see them in infinity symbols too.
Awesome.
And I'm going to go on and tell you all this now, because when they do come in and you have this spiral and then that connection, so then that's when you can turn it over to spirit and use that infinity symbol through your heart to like what the desire is, and for it to go out and bring the connection to you, and then it shows up in your life. That's how you use it after we do this. Does that make sense? That's how you bring it in.
Awesome.
Yes, it makes sense. I think I'm getting an inkling. Thank you.
Yeah. Her heart's like, your heart's still going, oh, I don't know. And then it opens and then it goes, oh, I don't know. And then it
There's
opens
a
real big.
safety feature there. Am I going to be okay?
Yeah, because it's going back and forth with it.
I still have to keep going. Yes.
Awesome.
It's always doing that. Yes. Yeah, let it go, because it's not always doing that. I'm often bringing it down. It's like, oh, it's safe. It's not safe. It's safe. It's not safe. I'm excited. Nope.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you. That was fun.
Okay, so Sarla, do you want to unmute yourself? And do you have any other question other than what is my money code? I can't unmute you. You have to unmute yourself.
Oh, she doesn't. She's talking away.
I know. Yeah, I can't unmute you. If you can, great. If not, that's okay too. Maybe let's check.
She doesn't know. We can't hear her. We can't hear you.
You have to
can't hear you.
you have to unmute yourself, Sarla.
All right.
There you
unmuted.
go.
Can you hear me
Yeah.
Yes.
now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Just I want to know, I have enough money, more than survival, food, shelter, and clothing, but not abundance that I can do more things I would like to do. For example, suppose I want to take a session with Clara, Lara, and other things, those kind of things I don't have, So what is blocking abundance of wealth in my life?
That you think that would be selfish. That if you had it, that would be a selfish thing to just have the money or the abundance and then just spend it like that for yourself. So someone taught you early, and this is for everybody, that it's like that's selfish. That's a selfish act to to spend it frivolously on yourself. So that's what it is. So there's almost like a fear. So if I wanted to do those things and it actually came, then I would do it. Then you would be, you would be a bad person, a bad girl, or whatever. You would be a selfish person. So it's that kind of energy. Okay. So a lot of you all have that. Probably all of us have that. That's in that distortion energy of all of it, because that is made up by humanity to keep us controlled, to keep us in little, in things, and that's belief systems. Some of that sometimes came from family, from religion, from that type of energy. So those are untruths that were programmed into humanity's consciousness to keep us in that container. Okay. So let me see if we can do anything individually on you, but this is for everybody with that too, just like the other ones were too. Okay, let's see.
Thank you, Kimberly.
It's in the third eye for everybody. So it's got, it's like distortions with discernment, and that wouldn't, it's almost like it's a judgment to self, that's not a discerning thing to do, to just that to take this money and then just go have pleasure and enjoy it. That's wrong. There's something there about discernment. Like the fear that you wouldn't be discerning with it if you had it. Oh, okay. What do we do with this? And they're just pulling that out of everybody. It's almost like we could go through all kinds of traumas and wounds with that one, but it just doesn't even need to be in anybody's consciousness anymore. So I'm just seeing it kind of being pulled out, and we're going to put that into a light reciprocal, into a container that can go back and be upcycled. because that's one of the distortions. It's like the difference between judgment and discernment. There's a fine line between the two of them and what that energy really is. Okay. There's a lot going on in the top of everybody's crowns. I can feel this going into the whole group. And it's got to do with the God stuff. Okay, let's get that distortions out of there. It's almost all those little dark crystals just need to be taken out and new ones put in. New receptor sites. Yeah, so it's like the program, the fear is that you wouldn't be wise with it. You would be unwise. I don't know if somebody gifted you something or gave you money and then you spend it on something that some adult didn't perceive as, but so it's that kind of energy. It's conditions too. I mean, how many people experience that as a child, that like maybe money was given to you and they're told it's yours to do what you want to with, and then you do, and then you're scolded for it. It's like that's not given unconditionally. So it's the energy of clearing out that, the money of the conditions of money. Wow, that's big. I feel that in the heart.
That's a big one for sure.
Yeah, it is. Ooh. I'm wondering if we should just go on and go into the group thing. Why? Well, I'm already in the container and this is so big here.
Sure.
How many more questions? Did you have several questions?
Oh,
still?
yes. Yes, of course.
There's a lot of people today.
There's still lots more questions, of course. But yeah, I mean, we can always, take questions from people after the group.
I'll just keep, when we do the group thing, then we'll make sure that, because this has already started, the group thing's already started. And so we
Awesome.
want to make sure that, because I felt like, we could go way deeper with this and it could take a little while. So let's just do a few more.
Okay,
we
good.
can,
So, Sarla, this is gonna continue along with the group process, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, darling. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
showing
you.
that to us. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so there's a question from Devki, and she says, I have this limiting belief that money is hard to get, which is ancestral. I lose lots of money. When I earn a certain sum of money, I lose the job. How can I overcome this?
Yeah, that's the same thing. What we're like with this, that money has conditions on it. It's like the energy of that. And so some of those, conditions is we have to work hard for it, that it comes with conditions. And that and that's how, yeah.
Or even the part about, I get the money, the flow's coming in, but then more expenses come. So there's not an abundance, an overflow, because the flow that comes in, it all goes out.
Like staying on that hamster wheel with everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's got something to do with this whole thing of conditions and what the conditions are. So it's like not, almost like not safe to have it, that it would, like, I don't know, there's some kind of energy in there, like then people would come to you to try to take it. So you're safer not to have it, so they won't take it from you, and so you lose it before you're attacked for it. That kind of energy.
I'm getting an image, Kimberly, and maybe this will mean something to you too. I'm getting an image like of a vessel, right? And water, which is abundance, flowing in, but there's holes in the vessel all over, so all of it's coming out.
Yeah.
Is that helpful for anything or anybody?
Right, because if that container, air container, like because I see that sometimes as the root chakra, especially since she said there's family stuff there. If it's got holes in it, then how much ever you fill it up, then it's still going to leak out.
Yeah.
Okay. What has that got to do? Something about. Okay, let me see. I'm hearing I don't know if it's just got religious stuff in there, but I'm hearing something like holy water, holy is as holy does. And there's something about, I don't know what how that's all wrapped into money, but there's something with that. And, so I don't know if that's hers, since I'm in the group now already, too, in that container, but I'm seeing like in religion, how much that, has been put into the people. And then like if you have it, you're supposed to give it all the way, because it would be wrong not to tie to give it all to the church. It's like, and what are they doing with it?
Yeah.
Building golden buildings. It's like, really? Go feed some children. And it's like, so there's something with that, whether that's hers or if it's just in the whole container, but that it's like better to give than to receive. And it goes back to that kind of energy. So when she does receive, then she has to give it away, even if it is things tearing up and breaking down. I mean, and there is a part, I remember when I went through a phase like that for a little while when things were spinning out, and then to be instead of in that, like, oh no, another thing to take care of, being grateful that I had the money to take care of it, and then something started changing with all of that. Okay.
So that was also a question that Julie also had, the same thing about money's coming in, but it also goes out extremely fast as well.
That's what I'm getting. The core belief to that is that it's better to give than to receive.
And I'm also getting that it's not safe to even receive or hold on to.
No, it's like I'm hearing like I'll be attacked if they'll come take it from me. They'll come take it from me if I have it. Yeah. And so it's that mixed in together.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? I'm seeing that in everybody's heart. You would think that would be like in the root chakra and in the sacral, but I'm seeing a lot of heart energy with that. So it could be because what is the spirit showing me the heart for? It's more about just opening the doors of the heart. To the trusting.
So I think Julie wanted to say something. Julie,
okay.
So Julie, you go ahead and unmute yourself.
Sure. Yeah, something you said, thank you, Kimberly and Alara, but something you said like totally resonated. And I have money coming in. I have a steady position that I've been in for a long time. I'm a school teacher, close to, my retirement. And the money comes in and I just tend to, I spend it for the most part responsibly in terms of, paying my bills and, but I'm not, I just see that like sometimes, and this is not happening as much, so maybe something is working, but it would be like a large sum may come in and then there'll be like a sudden unexpected bill, a car repair, but not so much lately. But I do have a big pension loan that when I sell my home, which is going on the market like in a week, it's going to be a lot of relief for me. But my husband's uncooperative.
So what's your question?
Yeah,
Julie?
what's your question? Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I don't want to go into it. I'm telling a story here.
Yeah.
What resonated was what you said about like if I don't spend it, it might get taken, or something, like I have to spend it right away, pay my bills, and get rid of it before something happens to it. I feel like I resonated with that. And I think it's because, my husband is not very cooperative. He is retired, but, he's narcissistic. I'm empathic, and, it's been a struggle.
Yeah, and we can't work on him because he's not here. So it's
right.
like what that is for you, because I mean,
right.
so when you're meshing your money in with other people and all of that, then it's a whole, you know, there's a whole nother ballgame to it too. And it's like, so what you're, you know, what you're winding in with all of that. So sometimes for the rest of you all that's in relationships, because it's all about relationships, especially with family, even when you still have like children in the house and your children and stuff, that it's like that, if I get it, they're just going to take it from me because they'll spend it. And I'm the one that's working for it, you know? And so there's an energy of that. And there can be some guilt sometimes with that when it has to do with your own children. I had that. And it's like that that I should be giving it to my daughter, you know, that it shouldn't, that everything was supposed to go to her. So that can be there. And then with the family thing with your husband, there's resentment there. I mean, you can kind of hear it in your voice when you're telling the story. You know, there's resentment with the energy of that. So, you know, that the whole.
So that's a good one for the group as well. The resentment, you know, and
the resentment, because that's what early on when I first was talking, that's what I said holds us back. It's the resentment and the regrets. Yeah. Everything in here has been either a regret issue or, you know, a resentment thing. So it's like when it boils down to it, there's all these stories, but that's the glue that's holding it together is the resentment and the regrets.
Yeah.
So you know.
I was going to say, so Julie will add that in the group container as well for you as well, okay?
Right. And that whole empath and the narcissist thing, you can't, you know, I know, because I did that experience. And it's like you get something out of being the empath to the narcissist all the time. So there's a whole lot, you know, more about that and working with that, because it's an empowerment thing for the empath too. And so anytime we have those kind of scenarios going on, you know, we're hiring those people to play out those roles for us. And so there's, you know, there's a lot there with all of that, but the resentment is your key word.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Julie.
We'll let go of that.
Yeah, so stay tuned for the group process, okay?
How is the resentment protecting you?
Believe it or not, it's gotten better. The resentment was much worse.
Right.
You know,
how is it protecting you? That's what you're keeping it for. How do you believe? That's what I would work on. How is the resentment protecting me? And that's the same thing with the regrets. We hold on to them so we won't make the same mistake again. And so the resentment is, if I hold on to the resentment that this, either whether it's who you work for, your boss, your family, your, you know, your husband, whatever it is, if I hold on to this, then it makes me right, or they can't do any more to me because I'm holding on to my resentment, and my resentment's going to be my discernment. So it all goes back to that. Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to write that question down. Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Julie. All right. Yep. So we're going to take one more question here. I think
it's getting harder for me to do to do that. It's like, cause I'm already in that expanded energy of the group, that's kind of like, it's like the other container is really what's wanting to come in.
Yeah. All right. But I just want this one because I think this is important for everybody to hear. So this is from Beverly, and forget about the why, but why do I not have enough money and time to do all the things I want? Write, paint, draw, ride horses, work with animals, etc. Where is this lack of abundance thinking coming from, and how do I get past in order to do all these things? And the reason why I'm pointing out this one is like, yes, we all want to do all sorts of different things, but it's not a matter of you're going to do all of those same things in one day. So tap into the energy of, what do I feel like doing today? What will bring me joy today? But I want you to go ahead and answer that question about where is that lack of abundance of time and money, resources, etc.
And sometimes if we just give our permission to do the one thing, then we don't feel like we're that, you know, like I gave myself permission to paint that day. And in the magic of while I was painting, you know, all kinds of things came to me. So it's giving yourself permission, of the allowance to actually, you know, to do it for yourself, instead of spinning the plates of the wouldas and couldas and shouldas, and that it's like that it's wrong to have those experiences, that it feels like there's that's what happens to the time. We don't take the time, you know, to step into whatever that flow is, to that creative flow. And the creative flow
I was just, are those desires even yours? You know, because, you know, again, like you were just saying with the shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Is that something that somebody else has projected onto you, or is that really yours? Because if it's really yours, you will do it. Like if you want to write, and then that's really coming from you and from your heart and from your soul, you will do it. But if it's coming from society says I should write a book, right? This industry says I should write a book, should, and you're not, well, you know what? It's not your thing. Maybe not right now. So what else is for you right now? You know, so it's really about getting out of your head and being in the flow again and this is that flow of source, spirit, creator, abundance, joy, happiness. What's going to bring you joy today? Like, for example, today we went, you know, I said at the beginning of the call, we went for a drive in the convertible because it was a beautiful day. You know, we brought champagne with us and snacks and all that wonderful stuff. And it was so much fun. I did have to work, but it's like, maybe not today, you know? So, but that energy created so much more because, you know, what it brought about was more joy for myself, my husband, my daughter, the dog, even, you know, and for the relationship, and more of like a higher vibration energy in our space as well. Right. And so now, you know, is that going to create more? Probably. But it was like, oh my God, that was so much fun and we enjoyed it. But it was like, you know, being in the flow in the moment and saying, yeah, do we want to do this? Yeah, let's do it. Right. But I should have done my call earlier, but I didn't. Do I feel guilty? No. Because I think this will add to future calls.
We need that time. Well, you know, and sometimes like the personality, the human aspect, because when I came back here and even this summer, I have felt the times that, you know, all I wanted to do was play with my granddaughter, plant a garden and do this and do that. I had to somewhere get all of those things that I thought I wanted to do out of my system, you know, try it one time, try it and see. And I found out, you know, that if I have to have a garden to survive, then my caterpillars and the squirrels that have ate all of my tomatoes, I'm gonna have to eat the squirrels first because I'm not gonna make it as a gardener. But I did it. I wanted to do that, you know, and so I did all of the steps to that, and I found out that yes, I can. Everything I touch just grows like crazy, and it's abundance, and I can do it. But in order for me to survive by feeding myself, I'm going to have to stick with the dandelions that are growing in the yard. Yeah. So sometimes it's like you do the experience and then go, oh, well, that was the experience. I'm not good at this. Yeah. Or I was really good at feeding the squirrels. So it's that sometimes. And so it's like you knock it off of your bucket list. You know, it's like, okay, you know, I want to sing. I can't. So it's like, it doesn't matter how much I want to. It's not part of who I am. So yeah, you're right. Sometimes is it those things? And when you go try it the one time and then you go, oh, well, that's not for me, then it goes away. It's like you let the experience happen and it's not a failure. There is no failure. It's just having the experience.
Yeah. And so there's
no
lack
it's making the time. I mean, the thing with the time is you do it. You just do it.
Yeah. There's no lack of time.
If you keep wanting things like that and you keep doing that and doing that and doing that, you'll finally make time because your body will listen to you, and then you'll be sick or something. You know, it's like you create those kinds of moments that you can't go to work or you can't do this anymore. You can't function this way in any of this. And a lot of us have had that in our spiritual growth. You know, it's all taken out from under you because you absolutely cannot do it anymore. And then that moment of opportunity is there. And soon as you do the moment of opportunity, whatever that was that you were holding on to is not even there anymore. It goes away. It's like you don't even have the, you know, pattern anymore. Like you forget, it's gone. So Beverly, this is funny. I just to lighten up the mood here a little bit. Beverly says, I put off the things I want in order to try and clean and cook. I put off the cleaning and cooking to have more fun. Me too. And it's the fear of judgment is what it is for her. When she said that, it's the fear of judgment. because that, you know, that part of that fear of the judgment of that, because I, you know, it's like, I don't care anymore if my daughter or my mother, you know, judges. There's just so much dust that something can get. It's like, you know, and it's like, no, I don't enjoy that. And it's like, I'm not going to do things that I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
So I would rather be outside in the garden than, you know, doing the other stuff inside of here.
I'd
Unless
rather
it's
be
clean.
outside walking in the woods, in the forest, by the river, lake, anything, you know, going in the convertible than doing laundry and cooking.
Right.
Okay,
So it's the fear of the judgment. She's the fear that somebody will judge her if she's experiencing the joy that she wants to experience. And so that's sometimes it's that, and that all goes back to the judgment, the fine line between judgment and discernment and stuff. But it's
And if you feel like if you feel like you're drowning in clutter, pack up the clutter. Just pack it up. Put
somebody
it in a
will
box.
take it. Put it out in your yard. Somebody will take it.
Put it in a box. Put it in your garage. Put it in your attic. Put it in your basement. Whatever. Pack it up. Because obviously you don't need it, right? And we don't. There's a lot of things we don't need.
Yeah,
All right.
and when is that somebody else's thing? Because that's that whole image, like, you know, because that's what a woman's supposed to do, or this is what my mother did, and she cooked and she did this, and that's what made her, you know, whatever. So that goes right back to what you intuitively got from the get-go, is that yours or somebody else's, or what you're, you know, or what you're trying to live up to.
All right. So let's do the process, because it's been like itching to do
Right,
it.
it's trying to come in. Okay. So everybody breathe. My cat is here to help us. That's what she keeps going like this to me, because my hands are doing this. She worked with this energy all through the line gate thing. When I was painting the line, she would go lay on it, and I'd be like, get off my painting. And then I thought, well, no wonder of course she's on the painting.
Of course,
Okay.
of course, yeah.
Yeah. So let's breathe, use our breath to come in to our own being, this being that we are. So all of that stuff that we've talked about and got stirred up, all of those wouldas and couldas and shouldas that's out there, we're going to disconnect from the mind matrix. So it's the mind of humanity, and we're just going to ask for that to be done. So it is. So when you disconnect from that chaotic mind matrix of humanity, you'll feel your energy come back into your own third eye. And this is your discernment that's within you, and it's not out there in all of that other. Your answers are not out there. So when that belief that it's out somewhere in front of you and that you have to know all of this is what keeps you entangled in that chaos. So you may feel that expansion, or sometimes instead of expansion, it's more like coming into a center, into your own third eye. And then we're going to release from your own mind construct that you created in this lifehood, from all of these experiences that we've talked about today. You can put it on a shelf. We're just going to ask to release from that. So that may be, you may feel that different. Different people may feel that in a different place of where you carry that. Mine's kind of in my whole field around me. And I feel it, I usually feel it coming into my center when I disconnect from these. Like it goes, whew, and I drop in. Okay, let me listen to spirit and see what's the next one to unplug from. Okay, so I'm hearing to unplug from the family matrix, that family mind construct. So I'm going to put in the thing to specifically do this around a money abundance, this, you know, the whole container of that, what we've talked about, for this to kind of to be specific with the distortions. And then any general stuff that anybody within the group container needs. Woo. Okay, so we're going to unplug from that family mind construct of all of that. whatever those beliefs are, whether they're what we would call positive or negative, just to let it all go. We're going to put it in a container of light, set on the shelf. Okay, and all the way out through anything that carried out into the DNA strands, even your DNA lineage that goes out to your star seeds, dramas that may have been in creation. And I'm hearing the part that you played within the creation codes. Oh, I'm really feeling that in their throat and in the high heart and in the ears. This is like huge globally. There's whatever this, it's almost like the fear kept everybody together. Ooh. It's like, how will we survive without that rat race of all of that? Okay, so now we're going to ask for the soul itself from any distortions that the soul has carried through all of its witnessing, it's held onto for balance. And the sacred container that it contains, expansion within that, and to let go of any traumas from, it's kind of all times, the lineage, all times, and then the soul itself. Hearing soul tragedies, whatever that means. And what the soul witnessed. It's like, it has the whole hologram of all of it. And maybe it's even the times that you may have misused in other lifetimes. There's a forgiveness with that. Like an understanding of that this is where the evolution of humanity's consciousness was at the time. And that we're in a different time now. Okay, so drop into your sacred chamber, which is at your heart. So we're going to open the doors to the sacred chamber. So we're going to open the back door. And when you open the back door, it's like right between your shoulder blades. Walk straight into your sacred chamber. And so this is your sacred chamber. We'll clear out any other energies that could be there. Anybody else's that you could be enmeshed with. They can go stand somewhere else to the side. I'm hearing that it's like releasing some kind of something about providing for others. There's some kind of distortion with all of that and what that means. And then the distortion that entangled. So they can just be on the outside and receive support for their self and however that comes to them. Okay, so now the energy, your whole central column, all the way, we're going to drop the light of the heart of that, your sacred chamber, the opening of that, all the way down through your body, into the earth, into the heart of Gaia herself. Anchor that in, and then all the way up through your whole central column, body, prana, Harlan, all the way up, out your crown, past your transpersonal, past your higher self, into your God realization place. It's like this place where the codes are before it was ever came down and got distorted in any ways. It's like this magical energy with all creation. And then open that up to that energy of that. And that those doors open. So invite your own code keeper, the aspect that is you, into your heart. And to align this energy of this divine currency. It's the truth of your alchemy and the embodiment of that. So it's allowing it to descend into your heart space and then expand at the same time. So all of those subjects and matters that came up in the conversation, just where there's a clearing that's happening, it looks like that those distortions are being taken out. I'm seeing it like threads in a tapestry. And it's like this tapestry kind of, it's like white, but then there's these little words with it that have ran through it, and those are kind of being pulled out. All those scripts. Okay, so they're telling me to download to help anchor this in, and it's the sacredness of the magic of this substance. It almost feels like a prana, like this mana. Into the heart. So you may feel it, see it, and it may be different colors for different people. You could ask for a symbol of what that symbol is for you. So I'm hearing things like divine wealth, true wealth, God's wealth, creator's wealth, like all of these different codes are coming in. So it's different flavors for different people as I'm watching the energy come into the containers. And it feels like the light of the frequencies, the higher vibration, it's just kind of defragging. the old beliefs, the old bindings. Nasate kere tura na kere ne site kere shutore na kere tara na satara ona shatakara site kere tura na kera. Okay, I'm hearing the word love, creator, wealth, humanity, consciousness, expansion into the divine flow. Alignment. There's a lot of energy happening in the third eye and in the trauma centers of the brain itself, clearing it out. Now I'm seeing it like sacred geometry, different symbols coming in. It's safe to receive, safe to have an understanding of how to receive, in Creator's definition of the truth of receiving. Creators, actually, it's more like, they're telling me that word's been mucked up too. This divine essence, it doesn't even have a word to it. It hasn't been labeled. It's omniscience energy. From the formless into form. So it's opening to anchor the codes of from this formless into form, the magic of this energy and how you can utilize this substance as your tool. So breathe in, and all of your all's energies, centers and signatures, they're all opening. And so any of that old discorded energy, it's being, I'm seeing it like black threads being pulled out. Doesn't serve a purpose anymore. Not with the new human consciousness. It's all old paradigm. So you may have, you know, be experiencing your own like little scenarios in there with any of it. So just bless it and for the experience that it was. And it's more about allowing, allowing, allowing. Okay, so as you connect to your own code, your own code keeper, your own connection to that, it's like I'm hearing it's like your engineer, the one that is it's your aspect of you in your heart. Feel that connection and this alignment, and that there's something about asking for how the magic shows up and to be willing to release. Oh, you can also ask if there's anything that's holding you back, and it will show it to you with no judgment, and what that you're holding on to that's not beneficial. Okay, so just feel this connection, and you've opened this gateway to this, and you can connect with it at any time. And to keep this connection going, I do an infinity symbol back and forth between my sacred code keeper aspect of me that's bringing in the frequencies for the new creation and the new assignments, and how that'll manifest in humanity through you. Okay, so just feel that in every cell of your body, all of your inner energy signatures, your parallels, that energy is going out, connecting. So breathe that in. I'm just going to bring this, it's like a whole container that wants to come down. Oh, it's like to oversoul you. So it feels like it's like a column of light, but it's also I don't want to call it protection, but that it's like it serves that purpose too. Why this energy is oh, I can't talk anymore. The energy's embedding, anchoring, weaving. Oh, it's like the caterpillar. Okay. When it goes into the chrysalis, the cocoon. And so that is like the why all of that's being rewoven. And then when it will step out with its wings expanded to fly. Okay. So breathe that in to every cell of your body and start bringing yourself back into this time we call now. And so while you all are integrating in, I'm going to, since if you don't have a water container, that's okay. You can set the intentions of where it's going to go. So I'm going to send some frequencies of support into water that you can use, like homeopathy, like you would a Bach remedy. You can bathe in it, spray it, put it in other water. That this will be a support frequencies for you. So you can just set your intentions of like where, if you don't have one with you, that's okay. That it will go into this. Okay.
Wow, lots of heat coming up all down and up my back like crazy.
You know, this one was really, I was pretty quiet for me actually. I think because we did so much work through the whole container the whole time. And then, you know, it was like, just the clearing was going on. So when we got to that point, it was just, it was quite beautiful just watching. It was just the light codes coming in and receiving them. There wasn't, you know, and some people may have been having experiences that they were witnessing. You might want to anchor this into something. They just told me to anchor it into my, I've got a little crystal heart that I've got set here that I used all during when I was doing the 8/8 lines thing, and I kept anchoring it into it. So sometimes when we anchor it into a sacred piece, you know, of anything for yourself, then when you touch that, then it's kind of like, it's a point to just take you there immediately. Did y'all hear the cat? She come up and was like doing things. She was doing things on my face. I had my eyes closed, so I don't know what she was doing, but I felt her nose on my nose.
She was very vocal for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What were you doing, Alice? Huh? What were you doing? Were you helping them?
Cute.
So that's Alice in Wonderland. So she had to bring something in for us.
Nice. All right. So how's everybody doing? Arietta says, wow, Kimberly is so amazing, so powerful. Thank you. Linda says, wow, that was great. Lots of energy through my hands. Awesome. Michelle says, thank you. RB Standing Bear, sorry, I don't know your name. I didn't ask earlier. It was bless you. That was beautiful. And that was so cute. The kitty was so cute when she was speaking and talking. Thank you says, thank you. That was powerful. So I wanted to take a moment and talk a little bit about the special offer as well, right? So if you're on the live page, you can just click the special offer button. If you're not, you can go to alara.at/show/Kim8. And because we already had a Kimberly earlier this month, so Kim8. And so.
Oh, I like that it's the 8. You know, when I sent that package into you all, I labeled it Laura 88.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know. So that's pretty cool that it is all 8s. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, still feeling the energies. Good. Continue to feel them. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to keep coming in. And just because that we did this now, connect to it on your own and do that. Do that, you know, journal, however it is that you do stuff. If it's just walking.
Oops. I lost Julie, or I lost Kimberly, or I lost somebody here. Kimberly, come back. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. So work with it yourself, connect to that and find out what the magic is that it wants to bring into you. And it can be in all kinds of ways, you know, that it can come. Something that's never been here before.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't just think of like the standard regular stuff or stuff from the past, but what else is possible? Okay. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So the special offer package, there's 2, package A and package B, right? And so this is the Money is Magic series, right? Plus the 3 live group calls, plus the access to the private membership. And then package B is everything in package A plus a 30-minute one-on-one session with Kimberly.
Right. Yeah. So the Money is Magic, that was, that's hot off the press. It was the container that I did that started on the Lionsgate. So it's the energy through that and the 8 days of support. And so this time you'll actually go straight into my new platform. When the product will come, you'll go that way straight to me. And then through it, there's like processes each day that you can do complete, and there's integration things in between. I've even got in there, because most of it I didn't write up, I just kind of basically put what's on there. There's like how to do crystal grids. There's like, I talk about anchoring into something and then how to do a crystal grid. And there's actually, I forgot about that. I didn't put any of that in the thing, there's.
No, you did not.
Like, no, I didn't. So that's in there. It's like we do that. And I even put pictures in there and a write-up about what that is. And so we start out with that, setting your intention and how to do a grid if you want to or not. Because I did a grid during the whole thing and worked with the transmissions in that way. So that's part of the lessons. And then there's lessons every day within the container. Okay. And then at the same time, you'll have that to go through. There's a one in there in the downloads. It's called Visioning Becoming Me. And it's actually a process to write and go through if you're the kind of person that wants to do that kind of stuff. Some people don't want to do that kind of work. It stirred me up. It's like it was one that I created before. And when I did it for this group that I was, processing, I put that in there and I did the processes myself, and it stirred up my 3-year-old. It's like I talked about that with you the other day. It's like this whole energy showed up for me that I had no idea was still there. She was one that lived in the magic land too. So anyway, there's processes all through it, and you can utilize it however you choose to do it. And then there's several hours of the calls of me doing the activations. There's a couple of the calls that were in there, and then where I just come on the platform itself and do a transmission for the day. So that's what's inside that container. And then you get the 2 months in my membership, which is there's a Facebook, and we do a private Facebook group. And then I'm in there doing things all the time. And then we'll have, 3 calls? So we'll do 3 calls. So the calls we'll anchor it in around this too. More work with it.
Yeah. Awesome. And then package
and
B,
whatever else comes up, whatever the flavor is of the day.
It's always whatever else is happening, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I know. It's like if you need it all like wrote down and in the container, then you probably don't want to work with me.
It's about being in the flow, right? Being
exactly.
in the flow. Yeah.
It shows up, and that's what it is for the day. And it's like, yep, that's what the special is. So that's what's in that.
Awesome. And then the package B is with a 30-minute personal session with you. What is that like?
Well, like what I did today, in a few minutes, you just get more of that. So we can either, I just open up the records and go in and see what's most beneficial for you. So if you have something specific that you want to work on, then name it and we'll go straight to that. And whatever our specifics are never what we think our specifics are.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we go past all of that. So, I'm fast when I work with people. So my own process, the way it's like, because I'm multi-dimensional seer and all of that, when I walk into your system, it's like walking into Best Buy and all the televisions are on at the same time. And I see all of them, but I go straight to where it is. And then it kind of brings them all in together then to whatever the movie is. So
got it.
Like who was it when I worked with Brianna and
Bianca?
It was her, Bianca. We went to 29. So it's not always what it is that we think the trauma is about. Yeah. It's like, go here first and then it's going to change stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Dave keeps asking, when do the live calls start?
Well, I don't know. How long are you selling this package?
So I would say probably in September, start in September.
Yeah, I mean, if you come into my membership, I do calls in the membership like every other weekend. So we're always doing calls. So I didn't set a specific date for the calls itself. Anyway, it's kind of how I roll with that. They don't really have a specific.
So probably September.
Yeah, probably September, because we got to let people like know about the package and come in and all that kind of stuff. But if you buy first and you're already in my membership, then you'll start getting the calls that I'm doing in membership. You know, it's like when you come in is when it starts. Okay. And so the calls I do in membership are usually either Saturday or Sunday morning. If it's morning for you, it's at 12 noon Central Time. I'm on Central Time, so all my stuff is set on Central Time. So I usually do them then, because there are still people that do that, 9 to 5 stuff through the week. And so that's usually when they are. Okay. So if that's a problem, but you will get the recording, and the recording is, I broadcast live into the Facebook group at the same time. So I'm on Zoom, and then I'm on the Facebook group too. So everything is in that group. You can always go in there and get it. And then the stuff's going to be downloaded into this new platform too. But they're all there. So even when you're in membership, you'll be able to go in the videos and see all the rest of them that's been, that's in there. It's like the other ones that I've done, if you want to look at any of them. That's in there. And so during that 2-month time period, you also get like 25% off of anything else that I've got cooking and doing, and like even sessions with me during that time period, if you want to do more.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. Bianca, did you have your hand raised, or were you like doing something? No. Okay. I thought she had her hand raised, and I was like, I didn't see it.
She's over working on herself. It's like she was working.
She's still doing that infinity loop,
Yeah. She was doing it. So she immediately went right into it and started, activating herself.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. All right. So again, those 2 special offers are available at alara.at/show/Kim8. So please do take a look at them. Package A for $97 and package B with the 30-minute personal sessions for $147. Okay, awesome. So Kimberly, is there anything else you wanted to add or share before we go?
Be blessed. Be the gift that you are to humanity. And pay attention when you hear yourself pulling in that old paradigm. And it's like, reframe yourself. Nobody else can do that but you. And we all do that. And anytime you hear the but or the excuse energy, it may have been what you had to do at the time that you did to get you to the next moment, because that's, what it all is. But me saying but now. However, reframe yourself. Notice it. Start noticing it when you've went there. And what is that about? How is it protecting you? What are you holding on to it for? The buts. They're not magic. But we believe somewhere that we give it power.
Now it's time to take it back.
Right.
For yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, all that container of that, but that's a big container out there.
It is.
Of energy that you could upcycle.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you for all of your questions. They really brought out so much for all of us. All of your questions brought out so much for all of us, for the clearings, for the group and everybody. So thank you. And thank you, Kimberly, for the wonderful process, and even for your kitty cat joining us, sharing her energies with us as well. Yeah, awesome.
Oh, she's over there laying on that painting. I guess I've just got to get over that, because it doesn't matter what other places she has, she goes and lays on certain paintings.
It's her
And
favorite.
it's like, yeah, she's doing
her-
something with the energy, or she's
Yeah.
receiving from it too.
She's either receiving from it or she's contributing to it. So, you
Yeah,
know.
she is. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Good. All right, everyone. So thank you again. Until next time,
Bye.
may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.